Case file. The Amber Enigma. Location. Poland's Baltic shores, where wind, water, and time conspire to guard secrets older than memory itself. Picture a detective's pursuit along the cold, restless edge of Europe. Wind-swept dunes rise and fall like frozen waves. Iron-gray surf pounds a shoreline shaped by storms and centuries. At first glance, the beach appears empty, austere, unyielding. Then a glint flashes in the sand, a muted glow, honeyed, ancient. Here, every fragment tells a story. Every polished shimmer could crack a prehistoric puzzle or unearth a wartime ghost long buried by shifting tides. This is amber, not a gemstone, but something far rarer. Amber is fossilized tree resin, exuded by vast prehistoric forests more than 40 million years ago, during the Eocene epoch, when northern Europe lay beneath a warm, subtropical climate. Towering conifers bled resin to seal wounds caused by insects, storms, and decay. Over time, that resin hardened, fell to forest floors, washed into river deltas, and was carried by ancient seas. Buried under sediment, compressed by geological forces, and shaped by glacial movement, it transformed into Baltic amber, the world's most abundant and scientifically significant amber deposit. According to geological research from the Polish Geological Institute and specimens preserved in institutions such as the Smithsonian, Baltic amber often contains entire micro-worlds sealed in perfect suspension, insects frozen mid-flight, spiderwebs intact, feathers, plant fragments, and pollen grains so pristine they allow scientists to reconstruct ecosystems that vanished millions of years ago. These are not ornaments. They are biological archives, moments of deep time locked in gold. Along Poland's northern coast, from Gdansk through Pomerania to the Vistula Spit, amber still washes ashore after powerful storms, and when it does, the hunt begins. At dawn, amber seekers walk the tide line like detectives, reopening a cold case, eyes trained on the rack line where seaweed, driftwood, and marine debris accumulate. They search after gales, when the Baltic Sea churns its depths and exhumes fragments of ancient seabeds. Amber floats in salt water, camouflaged among kelp and foam. To the untrained eye, it looks like nothing. To those who know its weight, warmth, and texture, it is unmistakable. A clue surfaced from deep time. But this coastline is layered with mysteries far beyond natural history. Beneath the sand lie remnants of submerged prehistoric forests, their resin scattered and redistributed by glaciers during the last ice age. Inland, invisible paths once carried Baltic amber southward along what historians call the Amber Road, a vast trade network linking the Baltic Sea to the Mediterranean world. Roman merchants transported amber through Central Europe, exchanging it for gold, wine, and silk. Pliny the Elder wrote of it as the gold of the north, prized more highly than silver, imbued with both economic and mystical value. And in the 20th century, the amber story darkened again. During World War II, Nazi Germany plundered vast quantities of amber, including the legendary Amber Room, a chamber of carved amber panels and gold leaf that vanished amid the chaos of war. To this day, fragments continue to surface, fueling speculation, searches, and whispered theories along the Baltic coast. Here, on Poland's storm-lashed beaches, geology, history, and legend collide. Each piece of amber is evidence, not just of a vanished forest, but of human obsession, trade, loss, and rediscovery. The sand keeps its secrets well, but after every storm, the case reopens and the shoreline waits. Then came the 20th century, and darker shadows fell across the Baltic coast. During World War II, Nazi forces systematically looted vast quantities of amber, treating it not as cultural heritage, but as strategic treasure. Among the most infamous losses was the Amber Room, a masterpiece of carved amber panels, gold leaf, and mirrors originally created in Prussia, gifted to Russia, and later dismantled by German troops during their advance east. Crated and transported west, the room vanished amid the chaos of retreat. The last confirmed records place portions of it somewhere in the Baltic region. After that, the trail goes cold. To this day, historians, archivists, and treasure hunters continue to speculate. Some believe fragments remain buried beneath shifting coastal dunes. Others point to sunken cargo ships resting on the Baltic seabed, or sealed military bunkers swallowed by forest and sand. Despite decades of searches, sonar scans, and declassified documents, the mystery remains officially unsolved, one of Europe's most enduring cultural cold cases. And yet, Amber's story does not end in loss. In modern Poland, particularly in Gdansk, long regarded as the world capital of amber craftsmanship, the narrative turns toward the renewal. In mist-filled workshops tucked behind medieval streets, artisans work with resin that predates humanity itself. Raw fragments, still crusted with sea salt and thyme, are carefully cleaned, authenticated, and transformed into rings, sculptures, reliquaries, and scientific specimens. Many techniques remain unchanged from medieval guild traditions, passed down through generations of master craftsmen. Institutions such as the Gdańsk Amber Museum, housed within a former medieval mill and later a defensive complex, document this unbroken continuum, from Paleogene forests to Hanseatic trade routes, from royal adornment to contemporary sustainable craft. Here, amber is no longer merely extracted. It is studied, cataloged, protected, and contextualized. Some modern artisans refuse to cut inclusions at all, preserving insects exactly as nature sealed them tens of millions of years ago. Others carve abstract forms inspired by waves, wind, and erosion, shapes that mirror the forces that delivered amber back to shore. In every workshop, science and storytelling converge, blurring the line between laboratory and atelier. From storm-tossed beaches where amber hunters listen for the sea's clues, to quiet studios where history is polished grain by grain, this is a detective story written in resin and salt. Welcome to Poland's Baltic amber trails, where prehistoric jungles whisper through golden stone, wartime shadows linger beneath shifting sands, and human hands transform deep time into meaning. The waves are whispering. Let's listen. Our investigation opens with the origin story, a cold case buried not in decades, but in deep time. The clock rewinds to the Eocene epoch, between 56 and 34 million years ago, when northern Europe bore no resemblance to the windswept Baltic we know today. This was a world of warmth and humidity, shaped by greenhouse climates and shallow seas. Vast coniferous and mixed forests stretched across what is now Scandinavia, Poland, and the southern Baltic basin. Pines related to modern Cyadopodes, alongside extinct resin-rich conifers, dominated the landscape. Trees whose wounds bled the substance that would one day become amber, sealing entire worlds inside before humans ever dreamed of leaving footprints in the sand. These trees bled. When storms snapped heavy limbs or insects bored deep into bark, the ancient forests responded the only way they could, by releasing resin. Thick, aromatic, and sticky, it oozed from wounds like a biological sealant, flowing down trunks and pooling at roots. In that slow, viscous flood, moments of life were arrested forever. Flies frozen mid-flight, ants locked in combat, fern fronds curled in their final breath. Even fragments of feathers, pollen clouds, and in rare cases, tiny vertebrates caught in an instant that never ended. This resin had a name: succinite, the defining chemical fingerprint of true Baltic amber. Rich in succinic acid, succinite allows scientists to identify Baltic amber with forensic precision, separating it from younger resins and lookalikes found elsewhere in the world. It is chemistry as evidence, confirming not just age, but origin, a geological signature written in molecules. As centuries became millennia, rivers carried resin nodules away from their parent trees into floodplains, deltas, and shallow coastal seas. Forests collapsed and sank. Layers of sand and silt buried the resin under mounting pressure. Heat, oxygen deprivation, and time completed the alchemy. Molecular chains hardened, volatile compounds evaporated, and sap became polymer. What was once tree blood turned to stone. Amber was born. Clue 1. These are not random rocks. Baltic amber is among the most abundant and scientifically valuable amber deposits on Earth. Geological reconstructions suggest the ancient pan-European amber forest, stretching across what is now Scandinavia, Poland, Germany, and the Baltic Basin, may have produced more than 100,000 tons of resin, making it the largest amber-forming ecosystem ever identified. No other region rivals its scale, consistency, or preservation quality, and Poland sits at its heart. Along the so-called Amber Coast, particularly near Gdansk, Pomerania, and the Vistula Lagoon, erosion gnaws relentlessly at ancient sediments. Beneath crumbling cliffs and under the shallow sea floor lie submerged amber layers, first scattered by advancing glaciers during the ice ages, then reworked again and again by tides, currents, and storms. These deposits are not static. They migrate, fracture, and resurface with the sea's moods. When the Baltic is calm, amber stays hidden. But when the sea turns violent, it gives up its secrets. Amber floats in salt water. That single fact transforms weather into evidence. Storm surges churn ancient seabeds, ripping amber loose from clay and sand. Waves push it shoreward, where it gathers along the rack line, tangled with kelp, driftwood, and foam. To most beachgoers, it looks like debris. To those who know what to look for, it is a signal flare from deep time, proof that the past has briefly risen to the surface. The hunt, like the history, always begins after the storm. After northeasterly storms, the Baltic Sea becomes a conspirator. Strong winds churn the seabed, tearing amber nodules free from their ancient resting places and sweeping them shoreward. They ride the surf, glinting like tiny secrets, disguised among seaweed, driftwood, and the scattered detritus of the night. To the untrained eye, it is just debris. To a seasoned hunter, it is a breadcrumb trail from deep time. The first clue in a millennia-old mystery. Falling air pressure, cold gusts, and frothy surf are the Baltic's version of a confession, signaling that the hunt is on. Follow the storms, and you follow history itself. Thousands of years ago, this was already happening. By 1700 BCE, Bronze Age traders were moving Baltic amber south along what would become the legendary Amber Road, a network linking the northern coast to the Adriatic, then to the Mediterranean. Archaeologists have uncovered amber beads in Mycenaean graves, Etruscan tombs, and Roman villas, a testament to its long journey. To the ancients, amber was alive, warm to the touch, charged with static electricity, and seemingly imbued with powers beyond mere decoration. Pliny the Elder called it succinum, marveling at how a substance so light could travel so far, and declared it the gold of the north, prized above silver, treasured as a talisman, a medicine, a bridge between worlds. But amber is more than trade and ornamentation. It is evidence frozen in time. Entire ecosystems, insects, pollen grains, even microscopic fungal networks are preserved inside, snapshots of climates, landscapes, and interactions lost for tens of millions of years. It records behaviors no fossil could ever capture. A fly trapped mid-flight, a spider frozen mid-hunt. Every nodule is a witness to life in the Eocene, waiting for the next human detective to uncover its secrets. And somewhere along Poland's restless coastline, after the next storm surge, the sea may yet release another witness, silently riding the waves, patient, eternal, and waiting to be found. Enter the hunters. Along Poland's Baltic trails, From the elegant sands of Sopot to the shifting horizons of the Curonian Spit, amber seekers move with the methodical focus of detectives at a crime scene. They arrive at first light when the tide retreats and exposes the rack line, a narrow corridor of seaweed, driftwood, shell, and debris where the night storms have deposited history itself. Each fragment tells a story. Each golden speck could solve a puzzle that began millions of years ago. This coastline is no ordinary beach. The Curonian Spit, a 98-kilometer ribbon of sand shared by Poland and Lithuania and designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of the most dynamic coastal landscapes on Earth. Massive dunes, some rising more than 60 meters, shift daily under wind and wave, continually revealing and burying layers of geological and human history. Storms carve new paths, erode old ones, and expose amber as if nature itself were orchestrating a forensic investigation. Amber hunters come prepared: rubber boots for icy shallows, rakes to sift through tangled seaweed, sieves to strain sand, shell, and grit, and above all, trained eyes, attuned to subtle glints, a warm translucence in the gray of pebbles, the soft golden hue hidden amid the kelp. Amber does not announce itself. It disguises itself as nothing. Its allure is patience, knowledge, and a practiced gaze, a lesson in observation as old as the resin itself. Every storm, every tide, every hidden shard is a reminder that this is a living mystery, where geology, history, and human curiosity converge. The Baltic does not give up its secrets lightly, but for those willing to walk the line between waves and wind, it rewards with fragments of deep time, treasures of light, and echoes of worlds long gone. Leszek, a veteran amber hunter from the outskirts of Gdansk, explains his craft with the calm precision of a detective who has solved this case countless times before. After a gale, the sea gives up its secrets. You find pieces ranging from pea-sized grains to fist-sized chunks, sometimes containing flies or ants trapped from a world that vanished millions of years ago. He is not exaggerating. These hunters are not casual tourists chasing trinkets. Many operate legally, working leased farmland, riverbanks, and designated amber zones where sediments rich with fossilized resin lie just beneath the surface. In rural Pomerania, organized crews sift through fields and pastures where ancient river systems once meandered, depositing resin nodules millions of years ago. These inland finds confirm what geologists have long known. Amber did not originate at the sea. It only ends there, washed ashore after journeys through rivers, ice, and centuries of geological upheaval. Follow the trail from west to east, and the story unfolds across time and space. It begins in Gdansk, long celebrated as the amber capital of the world. At the mouth of the Motława River, where medieval merchants once traded goods from across Europe, stands the Gdansk Amber Museum, housed in a restored granary and mill complex. Inside, more than 6,000 artifacts chronicle amber's journey through human history, from Neolithic amulets and Bronze Age beads to Renaissance reliquaries and Baroque masterpieces. Each exhibit is meticulously documented: provenance, age, context, a forensic archive of amber's human story. Travel eastward to the village of Jantar. Its very name means amber in Polish. Here, the town's identity is inseparable from the fossilized resin that washes ashore. Summer festivals reenact ancient amber hunts, with participants hauling nets from the surf, recreating methods that predate written history. In Jantar, amber is not a commodity. It is heritage, livelihood, and ritual, connecting modern hunters with Bronze Age ancestors who first valued this golden material. Farther along lies the Vistula Spit, a narrow, wind-scoured ribbon of land separating the Baltic from the Vistula Lagoon. Remote, quiet, and often unforgiving, it is one of the most productive amber hunting zones today. Hunters wade into shallow waters, raking the seabed for nodules loosened by storms and tidal shifts. What they retrieve is the final chapter of a deep geological saga. Resin exuded by prehistoric forests, buried under glaciers, scoured by Ice Age winds, and transported by rivers to the modern shore. Each piece is a fragment of Earth's memory, a microcosm of life and time preserved in golden clarity. And while the beaches glint with amber, it is the human story that gives it weight. The hunter's knowledge, passed down through generations, the careful stewardship of deposits, the museums preserving history, and the communities that still celebrate their connection to this fossilized past. On Poland's Baltic coast, amber is more than beauty. It is a thread linking deep time, human ingenuity, and the relentless rhythm of nature itself. Every piece of amber tells a story of forests erased, climates shifted, continents reshaped. In the hands of hunters along Poland's Baltic coast, this is detective work at its purest. Eyes scan the rackline. Fingers test the weight and texture. Amber is warm, lighter than stone, sometimes trapping insects frozen mid-flight for tens of millions of years. A simple saltwater test separates truth from illusion. Real Baltic amber floats, a silent testament to its density and history. But caution is essential. The modern market is awash with fakes, pressed resin, plastics, and copal masquerade as ancient treasures, their surfaces too perfect, inclusions unnaturally symmetrical. Genuine amber bears scars, clouding, fractures, imperfection earned over eons. On these windswept shores, veteran hunters know the difference. They are not chasing gold. They are following evidence, clues left by vanished forests, ancient rivers, and a sea that remembers everything it has swallowed. Every storm resets the case file, tossing fresh fragments onto the sand like new testimony in a long-running investigation. Yet, the story deepens. The amber trail soon intersects with shadows darker than prehistory, wartime shadows. Suddenly, geology and paleontology meet history, espionage, and one of the greatest unsolved art crimes of the 20th century. The case? The Amber Room. Crafted in Prussia in the early 18th century and presented to Peter the Great of Russia in 1716, the Amber Room was hailed as the eighth wonder of the world. Walls paneled entirely in carved Baltic amber, gilded with gold leaf, mirrors, and gemstones, it dazzled visitors at the Catherine Palace in Tsarskoye Selo, near St. Petersburg. For more than 2 centuries, it was a symbol of wealth, artistry, and human ingenuity, a luminous jewel of cultural heritage. Then, 1941. As Nazi forces invaded the Soviet Union, specialized art looting units dismantled the room panel by panel with mechanical precision. Crated and cataloged, it was transported west to Königsberg, the capital of East Prussia, modern-day Kaliningrad, where for a brief moment it was displayed in the castle museum. And then, it vanished. By 1945, Königsberg lay in rubble. Allied bombings tore through the city. Soviet troops advanced. Evacuation orders were chaotic. Witness accounts conflict, official records fractured. Somewhere between fire, flight, and fear, the Amber Room disappeared from history. Some panels may have been hidden in bunkers, others sunk at sea, perhaps even buried under dunes along the Baltic coast. Its fate remains one of Europe's most enduring mysteries. A cold case still investigated by historians, treasure hunters, and forensic teams. Today, amber hunters on Poland's beaches tread where ancient resin, human ambition, and wartime intrigue collide. Each piece they recover is a fragment of natural history and a whisper of unsolved human history. The Baltic Sea does not give up its secrets easily, and every storm, every tide, is a new clue waiting to be found. Some say the Amber Room was lost forever in the bombings of 1944 to 45. Others insist it was secretly evacuated, packed into ships, trains, or trucks, and sent west or north. Still more believe it was deliberately hidden, sealed inside bunkers, underground chambers, or mines, waiting for a future that never arrived. And this is where Poland's Baltic coast becomes part of the case file. In 1945, evacuation routes from Königsberg sliced across the southern Baltic, through what is now northern Poland. Ports like Gdansk, then Danzig, were choked with refugees, soldiers, and cargo. Ships departed under fire, overloaded, and poorly documented. One vessel in particular, the Karlsruhe, a German steamer, was sunk in April 1945 by Soviet aircraft not far from Gdansk. In 2020, Polish divers located the wreck. Inside, military vehicles, porcelain, sealed crates. No definitive evidence linked the cargo to the Amber Room, yet the find reignited fascination worldwide. If luxury art was evacuated in crates, what else might have been aboard? The lead went cold, but it never died. Across Pomerania and the Kazubi region, treasure hunters and independent researchers continue to chase wartime breadcrumbs, diaries, transport logs, SS correspondence, refugee testimonies. Some clues point inland, to forests and dunes once riddled with Nazi bunkers, depots, and underground tunnels hastily built as the Third Reich collapsed. Archaeologists and enthusiasts now use ground-penetrating radar, LiDAR scanning, and archival mapping to detect anomalies, voids beneath former military sites, collapsed tunnels, sealed chambers. None have yet revealed the Amber Room, but the landscape itself keeps offering questions instead of answers. One searcher describes it plainly. It reads like a detective novel. Routes change, witnesses vanish, and every clue seems to point back to the Baltic. Even along the beaches, amber hunters sometimes find fragments that feel out of place, pieces scarred, cracked, or embedded with metal, likely shrapnel from wartime explosions. Not proof, not evidence, but reminders that this coastline absorbed history's violence as deeply as it absorbed resin from ancient forests. From Gdansk's war-scarred docks, where evacuation ships once waited under bombardment, to remote dunes hiding buried concrete bunkers, the trail winds onward, part geology, part archaeology, part obsession. Did the Amber Room burn? Did it sink beneath the gray Baltic waves? Or does it still lie entombed beneath Polish sands, sealed, silent, waiting? For now, the sea keeps its secrets. But along this coast, history has a habit of resurfacing, carried ashore by storms, revealed by shifting dunes, uncovered by those willing to follow the evidence wherever it leads. And somewhere between amber and ash, the truth may yet glow again. The deeper we dig, the more the case complicates. Beyond lost masterpieces and vanished rooms, the wartime record reveals another hidden layer of intrigue. During World War II, Nazi authorities did not covet finished amber alone. They stockpiled raw Baltic amber, much of it seized from Gdansk, Pomerania, and the surrounding coastal deposits. Amber, prized not only for its beauty, but for its value as portable currency, became a strategic commodity. With borders collapsing and economies fractured, it served as funding for the Reich, a glittering resource tucked away amid the chaos. As evacuation routes tightened and Allied and Soviet forces closed in, evidence suggests that portions of these amber stockpiles were hidden in coastal caches, buried near ports, abandoned bunkers, and along transport corridors hugging the Baltic shore. Some caches were likely recovered in the post-war scramble. Others may still lie beneath dunes, forests, or abandoned fields, unmarked, undocumented, forgotten, waiting silently for the tides or a lucky hand to reveal them. Here, eras collide. Prehistoric forests, centuries of human trade, and the cataclysm of modern war, all layered within the shifting sands of northern Poland. Walk the beaches after a storm, and it is easy to imagine amber nodules as tiny witnesses, each a fragment of time, some containing insects from the Eocene, others scarred by shrapnel from 1945. Each grain is a clue, each glint a reminder that the coast is more than sand and sea. It is a palimpsest of nature, commerce, and conflict. Some historians now call it the Baltic's hidden archive, where geology and human history intertwine, where amber is at once artifact and evidence, and where every dune, tide, and storm surge may uncover another piece of a puzzle that has persisted for millions of years. This is not just a quest for beauty. This is detective work through time, where patience, knowledge, and a keen eye separate amber from illusion, fact from legend, and past from present. And the Baltic, relentless and patient, waits. And with the 1990s came revival. Poland embraced amber as both heritage and economy. Gdansk, long the epicenter of Baltic amber trade, became a hub for artisans determined to resurrect techniques lost to history. Workshops reopened in centuries-old buildings along the Motława River, where the scent of resin fills the air and hands polish pieces that span time itself. Masters teach apprentices to cut, carve, and preserve inclusions, blending traditional methods with modern precision. Tiny insects and plant fragments trapped in the resin are preserved intact, allowing science and craft to coexist in every creation, cultural. Institutions stepped in to safeguard knowledge. The Gdansk Amber Museum expanded its collections and educational programs, exhibiting everything from Neolithic beads to Baroque reliquaries and 20th century wartime artifacts, highlighting amber's journey through human history, conflict, and trade. Visitors witness firsthand how a small golden stone connects forests of the Eocene, ancient trade networks, and modern artistry. Today, amber is not only a commodity or a curiosity, it is a living tradition. Local festivals like the annual Amber Road Festival draw tourists and scholars alike, celebrating the stone's legacy with demonstrations, markets, and lectures. Workshops invite visitors to polish their own amber, create jewelry, or learn about inclusions, turning history into hands-on experience. Meanwhile, scientists use amber for paleobotanical and entomological research, uncovering ancient climates, extinct species, and environmental changes, a literal window into Earth's past. Even the sea plays a role. Storms along the Baltic still deliver fresh amber nodules, maintaining a connection between the ancient forests, wartime mysteries, and contemporary culture. Hunters know that each find could contain a microcosm of life from 40 million years ago, a forest frozen in time, waiting to whisper its secrets. In Gdansk today, amber bridges eras. It links prehistoric ecology, medieval and Renaissance craftsmanship, wartime history, and modern artistry. It reminds visitors that heritage is not only preserved in glass cases, but in living hands, taught and practiced every day. Here, along Poland's Baltic coast and within its bustling old towns, amber is no longer just fossilized resin. It is evidence, art, and memory. A detective story, a geological archive, and a cultural treasure, all gleaming golden beneath the northern sun. With political change and renewed access to global markets, Poland's amber industry entered a golden renaissance. Tourism surged, exports expanded, and workshops reopened across Gdansk, not as anonymous factories, but as vibrant studios devoted to craftsmanship, heritage, and artistry. Here, amber is more than fossilized resin. It is history, science, and culture brought to life in human hands. One of the city's crown jewels is the amber manufacture, founded in 1893, Gdansk's oldest continuously operating amber workshop. Visitors step inside and witness the full transformation. Rough nodules are ground and polished, fractures carefully stabilized, and ancient inclusions revealed rather than erased. Each piece is a miniature archive, a fragment of the Eocene preserved through time and now honored through skill. Across the city, smaller studios echo the same philosophy. Master craftsmen teach apprentices and visitors alike, guiding hands as raw resin becomes pendants, rings, and carvings set in silver, often adorned with Baltic-inspired motifs. Undulating waves, pine forests, migratory birds, and solar spirals. Every design reconnects the material to landscape and memory, a reminder that amber is a gift of time as much as it is of the sea. A craftsman sums it up simply: "We don't just make jewelry, we revive the old ways, turning gifts of the sea into heirlooms." Each year, this revival reaches its apex at Amberreef, Europe's largest amber fair, hosted in Gdansk. Designers, geologists, historians, and traders converge to showcase creations that bridge millennia. Traditional carving meets contemporary design. Ancient techniques meet scientific insight. Amber becomes a living dialogue between past and present, a material that carries stories, science, and artistry in every golden fragment. Today, Poland's amber industry supports roughly 15,000 jobs nationwide, sustaining local economies while preserving a cultural identity that stretches back 40 million years. What was once looted, buried, or nearly lost has now been transformed into a symbol of resilience, creativity, and continuity. This is the detective's resolution. From prehistoric forests to wartime shadows, from sunken ships to workshop benches, amber's journey does not end in loss. It ends in creation. A material born of injury and time, now reborn through human care and imagination. As the tide recedes on our amber odyssey, the Baltic coast leaves a final lesson. Secrets may hide in the sand, but revival shines eternal. Walk the beaches, watch the waves, uncover stories buried for millions of years. And if you bring your curiosity to a Gdansk workshop, craft your own story, shaping history in your hands. The enigma is still out there. Every storm, every churned-up nodule is another clue. But through preservation, craft, and human dedication, the past continues to glow. Thank you for joining this amber journey. Subscribe for more hidden trails, forgotten legacies, and stories that shimmer through time. Until next time, keep pursuing the glow.